welcome to the very first episode of Kebab Connect, the podcast where we unwrap the flavors, stories, and secrets behind the kebab world. I'm Ece.
And I'm Eylul. And today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood yet globally loved foods out there, donar. What the heck is donar, right?
Exactly. Some people think it's the same as shawarma, others confuse it with gyro, but we're here to set the record straight and maybe make you crave one while we're at it.
Okay, Ece, let's start with the basics. What is donar?
So, doner comes from the Turkish word dönmek, which means to turn. It's basically stacked marinated meat, usually beef, chicken, or lamb, cooked vertically on a rotating spit.
Yep, that beautiful rotating cone of meat you've seen at street stalls or late night joints. Iconic. But here's the thing, it's not just about the meat. The marinade, the spices, the texture, the cut, all of that changes the whole experience.
And depending on where you are, doner gets its own twist. In Germany, they load it in bread with salad and sauces. In Turkey, you might find it served over rice or even as Iskandar kebab with tomato sauce and yogurt.
Ah, that's my favorite. And then there's the fast food version, the plated one. Even frozen doner you can cook at home. It's everywhere.
But doner also has this whole cultural identity. It's not just food, it's a lifestyle, a business, a memory for immigrants, and even a battleground for flavor purists.
So true. We're gonna get into all of that in this podcast. Talk to the makers, the marketers, the innovators, the people who are shaping the doner industry.
But for today, let's keep it simple. Let's talk about what makes a good doner, common myths, and where you can find the real deal.
And hey, if you've ever had a doner that changed your life, DM us or tag us on Instagram at KebabKonnect. We might feature your story in an upcoming episode.
Let's get into it.
All right, so it's time for a segment we're calling Donar Myths Busted or Trusted. There's so much confusion around donar, and we're here to clear the smoke.
Okay, let's go with myth number one. Doner is just another word for shawarma. False. While they're cousins in the kebab family, doner originated in Turkey, and shawarma comes from the Levant region. The spices, marinades, and even how they're served are totally different.
Right, shawarma often leans heavily on garlic, cardamom, and a deeper marination, while donar has its own unique spice blend, often milder, more herbal, and very regional in Turkey. And don't even get us started on how it's sliced.
Oof, vertical blade versus horizontal shaving? That's a debate for another day. Okay, myth number two. Doner is unhealthy junk food. Um, Depends who's making it. If it's overly processed meat from a sketchy joint, sure. But authentic doner made with quality cuts, real spices, and balanced fat content, that's high protein Mediterranean goodness. Exactly. It's all about sourcing and prep. In fact, in places like Germany and the Netherlands, doner has become a nutritious, fast casual option when done right.
Myth number three, all doner is made from lamb. Nope. While lamb was traditionally used, beef and chicken are super common now, especially in the US market where lamb is pricier and less familiar.
We've even seen vegan doner popping up lately, made from seitan or soy protein. The doner world is evolving, people.
And that's why we're here, to keep you in the loop. Any myths you've heard? Drop them in our DMs or comment on today's post. We might bust them in the next episode.
Next up, we're talking toppings, sauces, and doner disasters you won't believe. Stick around.
All right, that's a wrap on our very first episode of Kebab Connect. What the heck is doner?
We hope you learned something new, got a little hungry, and maybe even busted a myth or two along the way.
This is just the beginning. In the episodes ahead, we're bringing in kebab shop owners, spice masters, machinery experts, and even folks disrupting the donor world with tech. It's gonna get juicy.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Kebab Konnect and subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss the next episode. If you like today's convo, leave a review. It helps us reach more food lovers and future founders.
And if you've got a wild donor story, a favorite sauce combo, or even a donor fail you'll never forget, send it our way. You might just hear it on a future show.
Thanks for listening to Kebab Connect, where we connect the grills, the guts, and the greatness behind the kebab industry.
Catch you next week. And remember, good vibes, great spice, and always slice against the grain.